T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello guys and dolls, welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. In true Honey Badger tradition, we have technical issues. So the first one is that none of our comments are feeding through in StreamYard, which is super helpful. So I'm now going to have to read comments in a separate web browser, which is really helpful, super great, really annoying. So what have we got today? I am joined by the illustrious Mike, and we have, for a start, we now have 3 cameras. We have side camera, we have front camera, and we have uppy camera. Say hello, uppy camera. Hello, uppy camera. Brilliant. Very professional here, except for the fact that we can't read any comments. So let's just go over to my browser and take a look at who we have. Rick Standen, Altered Proxy, Exploring with Matt, Paul Lawson, Ian Pedler. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Under the hot end, we're joined. Oh, yes. So Carl isn't joining us on the live stream tonight, but he is in the comments. I believe that he started washing his forehead at some point on Tuesday, and he's almost finished, but he's still having to take a night off to be able to polish the final pieces of it. So that's always nice. We were also going to be joined by Phil from 3DP UK. Go and check out their channel if you're interested.
He's still traumatized about his breakfast roll.
Absolutely. So Phil did unfortunately drop his Greggs, which, as we all know, in the north is a crime. So he's having to go to the magistrate's court tomorrow. And I rather believe he has ripped his gusset rather significantly as well, which I'm sure he'll protest about in the comments, but I can't read them. So who knows? We are talking today about the Flsun V400. Not a new machine, it's Flsun's newest machine, but it's been out for a while now. They sent one over so that we could do some comparisons to some of the other machines that they have. This machine boasts some very impressive specs out of the box. So it has a direct drive. It has a 300-degree hot end. It comes with klipper out of the box. It's got ultra silent stepper drivers. Let me make sure I get everything else right. It has a 300 by 410 build volume. It's obviously got Wi-Fi. It's got that nice big klipper-enabled screen. Auto bed leveling, obviously, because it's a Delta, and Deltas always have an auto bed leveling sensor on them. And this is Flsun's first foray into more premium machines. A lot of the Flsuns that came along before this were much more budget machines. Switch to uppy camera. And you can see that this is a chunky boy. So the main thing to remember with Deltas is that they're pretty much twice as tall as their highest print volume because of how Deltas work. So, so this is a large box. All right, we open it up. Lots of smoothness. If I push it that way, no, bring it back this way then. There we go. So as you can see, these are the chunky extrusions.
Yeah, they're chunky, aren't they?
So they are linear rails, but but they're not normal linear rails. So I don't know if you can see in here. They are inline linear rails. So they have a V-slot groove cut in that this carriage moves up and down on. This is one whole complete unit. So there's no disassembly of this. This is a full outside extrusion with the rail built into the inside of this tube. So this is going to be really, really sturdy. Going to have to put this on the floor at the back of the studio so that I can get all this stuff out.
We are also about to build a new studio as well, aren't we?
Well, we're not building a new studio, but we're changing around the studio that we've got.
Well, we're moving it completely to the other side of the room, so it's going to be a new one.
Okay. What if you need to change the belt? Well, so you can change the belts. So you can take off the. I don't know if you can see this here. Sorry, I'm trying to switch between seeing the comments and seeing the actual live stream video, which is quite difficult. So here we go. Right. So this way. There you go. Right. So you can see that these parts here have got screws that come out, and you can see that the motor up here has fixings either side. The belt is in the middle here. So you can take the motor off and you can take this piece here off. There are the grips for the belt are right in the middle here. So you can change the belts if you needed to. Put that on the floor as well. So we've got 3 of those bad boys. We have the obligatory toolkit. So this has within it everything we should need. So we have our bags of bolts, our Allen key set, some zip ties, a nice little USB stick, a thermistor and a heat cartridge. And then we have a stuck screwdriver. There we go. We have a flathead screwdriver, a tiny brush, a pair of obligatory clippers, some lithium grease, and a tiny handkerchief for magic. little tiny handkerchief for magic. There we go. Or for a rabbit to sneeze into. Always nice.
Looks like there's a bit of bathing tube or something you've dropped in there.
Yeah, some instructions. They're very nice, and we're probably going to ignore them. So we then have here our rods. So the rods have a carbon fiber look to them. I'll even go so far as to say they may very well be carbon fiber hollow tubes. So there are our tubes for our tool heads. We've then got our spool holder, all metal. And we've got our power cord, which is actually a UK power cord. So what? There's a gnome for a hanky. Right, there's a little bit of PFTE tube there, and there's some brackets. So they look like top covers for the machine. So they are 3 metal brackets with the screws. I assume they go on the top of the extrusions. We'll find that out. So take this out. Anything else in there? No. Okay, cool. That goes on the floor. That floor's filling up fast. Okay, we have here. So this is Flsun's new direct drive tool head. So their new direct drive tool head is obviously a direct drive, but it has an LDO motor on the back there. You can see that it is a Volcano hot end. Thermistor and heat cartridge are already installed on this. So the ones that you get in this pack here are spares. Kind of odd spares to include, but yeah. So it's a very short throw LDO orbiter extruder on there. Fairly nice fan guard on the front. You can see these here. These are LEDs. So we know that this is going to have a light on the bottom. Dual blower fans there. And this part here is for the this is for the bed leveling sensor. So this little magnetic plate here, when you do the when you need to do the Z offset, it plunks on there. You plug it in, and you'll be able to do your bed leveling. So we'll pop that over to the side as well. Get that out of the way. Right. Carry on with some. This is a thingy. Yep, definitely a thingy.
What is it?
It's a thingy. I just said. I was very clear. So, you know, a thingy.
I've used a lot of thingies, but I've never used one of them thingies.
Well, that's not my problem if you haven't used all the different types of thingies.
Oh, it's to hold the screen.
is the Flsun screen. So this is the powerhouse of this. This here is the screen. It's giant. I mean, that's got to be a 7-inch touchscreen on there. It has an SD card slot in the top. It has 3 USBs in the side, and it has its power port there as well. Really, really nice. As I said earlier, this machine does come with klipper pre-installed. This here is your filament sensor. So this will go on the top of the machine and your filament will go through it. My hands are just tiny. I have regular sized hands.
For a baby.
This is your leveling sensor. So as I said before, you take your tool head. Well, the way this works is it clips on over the tool head there. So you can see that it goes completely over the nozzle. That will then plug in. You do your Z leveling, and then you take it off when you're not using it. I'll say this, it has actually got a little bit of something around the nozzle, but it's not filament. It's like a sealant or something. This is where the sock is screwed on, so we're not taking that off for the time being. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. Pop that off to the side. This is obviously the top of the machine. So leveling sensor goes into this, as well as color-coded and labeled board elements. The main board is up here as well. Pop this on the floor. And then we have the bed. So the bed is a removable spring steel. You can see it is a flat steel one side and a textured build surface the other. Magnet is nice and strong. It's worth noting that the only real issue I've ever had with sort of magnetic beds is, one, really annoying to try and align them sometimes perfectly. You can see that they can just snap down, but sometimes they'll snap down to the side. So there's not really any guides for this to like make it sit properly. The only issue I've ever had is when you try to print ABS. Don't touch that with your bare hands. That's criminal. Well, I've done it now, so right.
Also, I found with the removable ones, if you're printing something big, it can be a real nightmare to try and pull it off, like get the plate off.
We have the world's smallest piece of filament. I think that's maybe 250 grams of filament there. So that's there. And then that is everything in the box. So, goodbye box. Nope. Did I just hit uppy camera?
No.
I may have just hit uppy camera.
You didn't.
Well.
You didn't.
I didn't. You sure?
No. Yeah. Okay. You didn't move.
Right. So, with that. So, let's try picture in picture. Look at that. So professional. Okay, so we will grab one of these, and these have within them, they have the, let's just go here, there we go. So inside of these are all of the, have you got a step ladder to get up to? You def hit the uppy cam when when this is built. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, this is going to be really cool when it's built. You're going to need.
Yeah, it's going to be quite tall, isn't it? So inside of these are all labeled, it seems. So this one goes Z to Z, which means that this. Oh, hang on. Goes into there, just like that.
How much is the V400?
V400, I'll tell you now, is not as cheap as people would like it to be. So bear me 1 second, because
so when it's got a small holder on, it's 1.2 meters tall.
I mean, that's quite tall. So I've definitely pressed a button, and it has now. There we go. That's better. Right. So the Flsun right now on their website, if you buy it from Flsun, the EU is $999 US. As I said before, this is very much Flsun sort of nailing their colours to the mast as to what they can do. So this is them saying, ultimately, at this price point, that you can put this up against the Prusa Mark III, and it will perform as well, if not better. There we go. So we'll start screwing all of these in. One of them has an upright. One of the uprights has pass-throughs for the cables. Yeah, it'll be this one. There'll be the pass-throughs for the screen. Screw these in. For $999, would you choose a V400 or an X1? So, okay, so first and foremost, I want to be clear, I'm not an X1 fanboy, but I do love my X1. So this was actually something we were going through today. So I am doing a model. I'm doing a, hold on, I just want to make sure that these are labeled, by the way. So you can see on the sides of these that they are labeled on the motor. They're labeled Z, Y, and X. And on the cables here, they are also labeled as well. So the insinuation, at least, is that it does matter which order these are plugged in. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that okay, so I definitely should stop hitting my keyboard. That should be task number one. Right, anyway, as I was saying, so I love my X1. We actually had an issue. We were actually having an issue earlier where I was trying to print. I'm doing a Aquaman at the moment from Wicked's Patreon, from Berserk's Patreon, and I was doing the base. I tried 4 times to print it on my Ender S1. Kept failing for a variety of reasons. I got the bed cable got tangled up, and it ended up wire shifting for that. And then
did that 4 times.
Yeah, I did that a couple of times, and then I had a filament. I ran out of filament. Did a filament change once again. It then decided that it wanted to. To shift on the Y. So I had 4 fails on the Ender S1, and I put it on the bamboo carbon, and 6 hours later it was done. And I don't really know why I bothered with the Ender at all. It was just a really poor way to waste some filament. That's all I was really doing. If I was spending £1,000 right now,
I know I'd get a bamboo.
I would probably get the bamboo. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We haven't used this yet. Deltas are incredibly cool machines to watch.
Yeah, but the problem with a Delta is that's a 300mm bed, but it's not a 300mm bed.
Yeah. That is definitely an issue. And it is an annoying
ones like this. They are actually fairly small beds.
Yeah. I mean, a 300. I mean, to be clear, doesn't bamboo do little poops at the back? So yes, it does. So the bamboo, when it's doing filament changes
or multicolor
for multicolor prints. Well, not just for multicolor prints, for multi-material prints.
Yeah.
So any time that you are changing material in a print, the bamboo does a little poo out the back down its poop chute. Even if you're using,
someone's designed a mod for the bamboo.
Yes,
standing up the back of it is a person with a bum, and then a little toilet, and it poops it into the toilet.
Yeah. So yeah, it does do little poops, yeah. Which some people might find endearing. I don't.
The bamboo is loud. The bamboo is loud, Paul.
That is one thing I will say. The bamboo is loud. And I mean it is loud. Like,
it's okay for us because our workshops are both not indoors.
Yeah.
But if you had it in your house, you're gonna know about it.
Yeah, you would, yeah, for sure. Question is am I going to have to refer to the manual to figure out where I chase my wires down? Oh, go on then. I suppose it would be rude not to. Let's just have a look in the book and see how I'm supposed to change that. Am I supposed to chase these wires? Pass the straightened cable through the inside of the Y-axis. Oh, that's for the filament sensor, which is on the base. Okay, cool. So we plug this one in. This one is Y. Come on. Told you there's a pass-through on the legs. You did tell me that, but I wanted to make sure, Paul.
It's all right, actually, Phil. The one I had done yesterday, a little bit sore, nothing really, no swelling. And the one I had today was perfectly fine. I wouldn't even know I'd been tattooed.
All right, there we go. Pop that in there as well. So I'll tell you what, they are making sure this is pretty bulletproof.
So Phil asked how my hand is, and Martin said bigger than James's, which is factually correct.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have got bigger hands than me. I don't know why everyone's trying to make it seem like that's something I should be ashamed of. Your giant moose hands, like it's my fault. So
you've got baby hands, and I've got Hulk hands.
I've got regular sized hands
for Vern Troyer.
My hands are of a normal size. Thank you very much. All right, so
for anyone who don't know, I've been tattooed twice in 2 days on the same hand. I had the top of my hand done yesterday, and I had my palm tattooed today.
How are you meant to feed these through? This seems like an impossible task. Is it a tattoo of James's hand? Is it just a tattoo on your hand of my hand? Can you imagine your missus would have gone absolutely Garrity if you'd have done that? She'd have said so many hurtful things to you. And she says a lot of hurtful things to you now. We've established that before.
Anyway, like she don't need a reason.
No. So, like, if you gave her a reason as well.
Mind you, she did say several hurtful things when I told her I was going to have my palm tattooed.
Yeah, I can imagine she did. I feel like I need to find a poking device to try and
use your tiny little fingers.
Pardon?
Use your tiny little fingers.
Well, I can't go like it's just 1.5 meters long. Like I can't go all the way down there. This is really difficult. It's got to go through that bit. already annoying. All right, I shall find a poking device. 1 second. Oh, maybe I won't. Ha! A poking device. Come on. Why don't you go any further than you are? Stop being annoying. Come on. I feel like I'm loading an old musket. Did it.
That's one of the more novel uses I've ever seen for a tape measure.
It was a tape measure. That was a garden cane.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That's exactly what you should be using.
You know what they say, small hands mean small build plates.
I don't know where this sudden myth has come from that I've got smaller than average. My hands are
because the free
hands that aren't of a normal size.
Because the free gloves that come with Chinese printers fit you.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
You're wearing them multiple times.
That is not accurate. I don't even believe those gloves fit anybody in China. I just think they're China's joke. I think that's just China messing with people. They're just like, let's convince everybody that China has tiny hands. Then they'll see. It took a real lot of me then not to do what I would consider to be a bannable accent. And I didn't do it. And no one seems to have recognised how restrained I was in not doing it. And I feel a little bit robbed, to be honest.
Phil just said, come on, we always pick on the deformities we have.
Right, let's move this over here. Oh, okay. Should we go back to moving my... Right, hold on. Oh, for God's sake. Right, move this over here. Try and get this out of the way. I mean, this is a very... I'm going to be honest with you. This is a very, very inconvenient length of printer.
They do, Paul. They fit in with room to spare. They're, if anything, they're baggy.
No. Right. Okay, fine. We'll just leave it here. Okay, so you can see on this one that there is a connector in here. And this is the leg that has the pass-through on it. So all we need to do is this.
The build size on this printer is 255 circular by 3 miles high.
Feel like we're meant to go like that.
It doesn't matter how far we zoomed out on this, Cole. Once this is standing up, you're not fitting it all in the camera.
All right, there we go. James thought it'd be much easier. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I always go into all of these things with a blind level of optimism that is...
Well, to be honest, the last few printers we've reviewed have been hardly any building on them, is there?
Yeah, that's fair, actually, because we did the Frozen, where there was nothing. We did the... And then there was the longer and the Ender, which, again, was basically nothing. Yeah, so fair play. A lot of the machines we've had really haven't had any building. The problem is there's not really a different way you could ship this. If you didn't ship this with like if you didn't ship this the way that it was, it wouldn't. It would cost a fortune. Until it's in the fall. Well, I think I might be. Yeah, I'm going to have to actually take off my honey badger hoodie because underneath it I have a jumper. Which I shall zip up slightly as to not arouse the entire audience.
You could have lifted up that little hanky and then dropped it and you wouldn't have had your hoodie on.
I don't know why everyone's trying to make me seem like I'm Sam Prentice size. I'm not the fun-sized Mars bar of 3D printing.
No, it's just your hands that are ridiculously small.
Normal size.
Freakishly small, I'd say. Hanky's a loincloth.
Bamboo was only 5 or 6 crews. Yeah, so the bamboo, to be fair, was not a lot of setting up either. That it was more annoying taking out the packaging than it was anything else. Yeah, why like? This one just seems like loads of effort as well to try it. Oh, that one was really hard. Didn't like that. Okay. That one goes there. So it is just as a side note, it is a switching power supply. So you need to make sure that whatever your region's power supply well, that you select it yourself. It's not an automatically switching one. I need to stop. James won't ever invite me on a live again. Paul, with the amount I've ripped out of you and that you've ripped out of your own crotch, I don't think we've got too much to worry about.
The only thing we've got to worry about is if you're on a live stream, there's a danger you could just fall over again.
Very true.
Well, that would make for a great video.
It'd be viewed a lot. All right, last one. Yes, hopefully, if you buy it in the UK, it should be set to 240. Please double check. If it's set to 120 and you stick it in a plug socket, then that's bad. Agreed. You should always check to see whether or not the power supply is an automatic switching one or whether there is a switch on it. And we have a very heavy but built Flsun. Right, let's take a look at these bits. So these are the effectors, and that's neat. I like that. So these are just literally clip on. So you stretch them over the gap, and they are held. I like them. That is nice. That is really nice. Someone's thought that through. So all they have, right, is they have these springs on them. Should you have put the spool holder on before lifting? Yeah, maybe. so anyway, as I was saying, so let's go to close-up camera. So you can see here that these have got a spring on. They've got these scalloped pieces here. You literally pull them apart, off it go, and it goes onto the effector joint up here. And that is how they fit.
Can it print chocolate?
Can it print chocolate? No, but neither can the other thing, so don't worry about it. There you go. So that is that fitted. This coupler here, this is all your tool head outs, and they are all color-coded. So that is really nice. There are two black ones. Those are both of your part cooling fans, and they just go into the two black ones, the black connectors that are up here. So far, this is an incredibly easy install. For something that came disassembled, it's gone together absolutely beautifully. You said? That in there. This goes up here, and this goes up here. Right. This here is the leveling sensor. It is the plug for the filament runout sensor, which we plug in like. Okay. Which we plug in like that, and then I see, and then it acts like a little cover for everything. Okay. I'll tell you what, that is some fairly clever design work there, I would say. Although, does that actually go? Okay, maybe I'll take that back then. Oh, that's why, because it goes like that. Oh, this is the hardest bit of the build. What are you talking about? Right, they go there.
Sam said he's still waiting for his hoodie.
He shouldn't be. That should have been dispatched before Christmas. I'll look it up, Sam, and find out what's going on. Everybody else has received their stuff.
You're lucky if you're getting it, because I said to him, we'll give it to you in Germany later on in the year.
Okay, so
Edge of 3D. If you take the Wii books, I'll send you an hoodie with it.
Still be a bad deal. Right, there we go. Screen is plugged in, and then we take the thing.
James ain't at all me.
I figured it out. See, I don't need no books. Right, we're going to turn it around that way because that's clearly the front.
Sam said he's been waiting by the window every morning for the postman.
What, just printers keep turning up today? You're like, no, I don't want this. And Flsun booting system. Whilst we are here, for the time being, I will install the leveling sensor so we can go through that. Once again, this just clips to the front of this.
Yeah, Sam chases the postman down the road barking.
Okay. So we have working clipper, bed level, Z calibrate, no, calibrate. Please plug in the leveling sensor. I have. And just for exploring with Matt, the Flsun logo does light up as well, so that's lovely. There we go. So it's now going round and doing its bed leveling. So on this printer, I really like it. Flsun had their issues with supply, which has made the process really worrying. So I won't lie. Flsun in the past have been known for cheaper machines. You know, they've done the QQ, the QQS Pro. They did the Speed Racer, which was a pretty solid one. I think they underestimated how popular the V400 was going to be, bearing in mind it was their first foray into a expensive or a more expensive 3D printer. So this was obviously nearly £1,000. That's a lot of money. And they didn't know how many people were going to shell out for those. I think they underestimated the demand. And as a result, they've really struggled to keep these in stock. As it is, we've been waiting 3 months for this machine to come through to us. 3 months ago is when they originally said they were going to send us one. It's taken this long to get one back in stock for them to be able to actually send it. So let's do a bed mesh. Plug in the leveling sensor. Yeah. So you can print via Wi-Fi on this, or you can just plug in an SD card and print from the SD card. We'll be printing via Wi-Fi just because it's easier, and that's what Klipper was really built to do. There we go. Go around and does a bed level. Look at that. So whilst it's doing that, I will assemble the filament spool holder that I definitely should have done before I actually put this machine up. Oh, come on then. Going through and doing its bed level now. Oh, this already isn't fun. How are you going to get that on top of the machine? I'll come to your house and ask you loads of questions. As it is, I have a step ladder. I never knew my real ladder. Brilliant. That's some gentle comedy, Ian. And I do have a step ladder because obviously we never had to fit the we had to fit the uppy camera the other day, which I definitely feel like I have knocked off of where it should be. Trying to think, have I actually got a normal spool of filament under here somewhere, or am I going to have to use the stupid filament that it came with? I'd rather not use the stupid filament. What's that? That's luminous PLA. I think that might just bore out the nozzle, so we probably won't be using that. Yeah, we're actually going to have to use their PLA. This is insane.
At least you'll be able to see it being white.
Be able to readjust the uppy camera as well. Oh, well, that's not screwed into the ceiling very well. That'll be something we have to address at some point. That was it fell on the floor.
Well, it's being moved next week anyway, so.
What's that?
It's going to be moved next week anyway.
That is true. That's why I haven't bothered fixing it so well. Does that look right? No. That looks right. Come on. Never cease to amaze me how stupid it is that you buy a printer that is nearly £1,000 and what they give you as a spool of filament is this. Like what's, I understand, like, you know, there's a little bit on see, I wear trousers. Everyone thinks I do these like completely bottomless or something.
James is going up in the world.
All right, so there is a... This is terrible PLA. I can tell that already. Oh yeah, that looks like a massive pain to get that to go in right. Like, how are you meant to?
What we didn't get paper in the box, but what we did get on the outside of the box was the world's stickiest Post-it note, which stayed on there all the way from China.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I didn't expect that.
Obviously, we don't know what this says on the Post-it note.
Oh, it definitely says something Chinese.
Maybe about Post-it notes.
It could be about make sure you don't lose this Post-it note. Oh, yeah, that filament sensor's really fun. Like, what is your problem? Why does that have to be so complicated? Like, you try and feed it through and it just pushes the... Oh my God. Oh, that's so annoying. Like, what is your problem? Oh God, I've got it right. Oh, I'm so irritating.
Sam said maybe it said on there, wait 3 months.
Right, I'm so glad I don't have to do that again so quickly because this is only like a stupidly sized. I'm not a massive fan of this. Right, Z calibrate. Well, hold on. Right, so take off the sensor. Surely. Move to Z0. Please remove the sensor. Yep, continue. So that's it, moving to 0. And then we will get a handy dandy piece of paper. That's too thick, I can tell already. What's the back page? The back page is never going to be the important one, is it? That's Z0. Z calibrate. So we're just moving down in little increments until we... Oh, that was too much. There we go. Bit of tug on the paper. Let's load in some filaments. Action, temperatures, PLA. Heat that up. Homing. Let's put you in there. All the difference of papers. Yeah. Yeah. It's not even something that you used to think about, was it? Where you were like, well, paper's just paper, right? Like it's not a problem. Do not forget to 2 times on 0, James. What now? Must put the set timer on Z of set Z to... James must put the sec time of on Z or to go all wrong. What?
Is it code?
So hold on. I went to configuration bed level. I went to calibrate Z bed mesh. Then I went to move to 0. Then I went to Z calibrate, which I did. And then that's it. It's done. Minus 2.60. Double tap 0. There isn't a 0.
You must 2 times to go Z 0 again. I don't
okay. All right, hold on. We'll see what that does. So we're going, all right, I'm moving to Z0, double tap Z0. All right, look, I'm setting Z. All right, I'm putting it back to Z. All right, everyone calm down. Please read the instructions. Never. Right, Z0.
Double tap. Double tap.
Okay, all right, hold on.
Double tap it.
If you say double tap one more time,
tap it. And then double tap it.
Now tap. I have tapped it.
How many times? How many times have you tapped it?
2 times. There were 2 taps. Stop saying just tap it. I've tapped it. It's been tapped.
How many times?
Twice. 2 taps.
Double tap.
And then I go to Z calibrate. Swear to God, if this is the same thing that I just did before, it says the same thing that's on there.
Now you see 0.15, I think.
No, I don't. I don't see 0.15 at all.
Perhaps it is where he's got really little hands. It's not tapping twice.
Now it's just moving up again because I tapped it twice. There was 2 taps, and now here we are. So
it's all on the post-it note. I had to set it up.
I may have disposed. Oh no, here it is. This is, and I'm going to be clear. I'm going to show this, knowing full well that it could just say all of my personal details, and I won't know. But ladies and gentlemen, the stickiest post-it note that's ever lived, because this was on the outside of the box. So it's been stuck to the outside of the box since China.
Double tap it.
Right, okay, cool. It's now minus 2.43, so I don't know if that made a difference or not, but we'll find out. I swear to God.
Double tap it.
There's nothing on there that says save, so I'm just going back now. Friggin' make me double tap it. Friggin' double tapped it already. Coming over here. Nonsense.
Tap save.
There isn't a save!
Don't know why you're getting all angry and aggressive.
Already tapped it twice. Tapped it loads of times. Right. So, first question is, have we got anything on here? No, we don't. So, fine. So, let's go to Cura. Load
the way
up.
you were pulling that bit of filament off the end, it was really flamboyant.
I was tangled up.
It was like you was on Dancing on Ice.
Extrude.
It was like you was on Dancing on Ice.
It's because it's been so intuitive up to now that it all goes stupid. The only people trying to help and almost saws. Only people trying to help and almost goes to saws themselves. Look, I had double tapped it. There was 2 taps. Everybody saw the 2 taps, and they were asking for more taps. Add a printer. Do we have a Flsun printer? Do we have the V4? Oh, interesting. There is no V400 out of the box for Cura. So let's open up. There are some important files on the U-Disk. Please read them carefully. Well, if one of them's about double tapping, I can tell you right now, I'm yeeting this clean out of the building. V400 config for, okay. Okay, so now we have to go to a bunch of folders to install this into the, right, so go into here. No. Oh, of course, it's in my, oh, God. Users, me, app data. Cura, right. Okay.
Don't forget to double tap the mouse as well.
Place the V400 in Share Cura Resources Quality directory on the installation path. Well, none of those are actually options. So do you want to rethink that or? So we're in the Cura thing. There isn't one called Share. There isn't one called already in Cura. There isn't one called Resources, and there isn't one called Quality. So we're not at a great start.
What version Cure are you running?
5. No. So we go to Cura. I go to my Cura thing. Surely it should just be under. Well, there's one called Meshes, so that'll at least work. But there's not one called Resources. There's not one. Oh, there is under Extruders and Definitions. There is, and there's one called Quality. So, okay. So the V400 goes to Quality. The Definitions goes to the JSON. The Extruders goes the JSON, the meshes goes to that. Okay. So now let's reboot Cura and see whether or not I've now got a V400 in there.
How much is in there?
Be lying if I said that was particularly clear, but whatever. So we now need to go to add printers in here. Flsun. There is a V400. So, okay, so we now have a V400 in there. Let's stick in very quickly a calibration cube. Let me check to see why I'm being yelled at. Unhide your files.
Yeah, Gasper, this is live.
Oh, it's live. Yeah, it is. Right, we're doing that at 0.2. What speed are we doing? 400 millimeters. So this is on full speed. Reckons it's going to do a calibration cube in 11 minutes, which is quick. Right, let's pop you in the screen. USB disk. Print that. And let's see how it does.
Spin the print around a bit so we can see it properly. That's it.
Is that better?
Mm.
I'll tell you what, I've nailed that bed level out the gate. Woo! It's like I'm a professional. Any plans for a first major build on this?
No.
So the honest answer is no. I don't know what the first one's going to be. I think we'll have to do some vase mode stuff on it, because that's when you can really show the speed that these things can move at when they're doing that single extrusion, absolutely smashing through it.
And to be honest, we never know what to print on a Delta, so we just print vases.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna try and treat it like a normal machine, rather than trying to print things specifically that are good for a Delta. I'm going to throw different models at it. So I'm going to throw some stuff. I'm going to do some overhang tests. I'm going to do an overall 3D print test. We've actually got a Prusa Mark III on loan that's coming to us in about a week's time. So we are going to pitch this against a against a Mark III S, and is the filament under tension? No, it's all right. So yeah, we're going to pitch this against the Mark III S, and we're also going to pitch it against the Bamboo Labs. So we're going to do a speed test. We're going to do a quality test. We're going to try some different filaments and things like that. Just to be clear, because of this being an open machine, we're not going to be able to do ABS on it, things like that. There are some people who have printed enclosure mods that are available. How long to print a benchy? Well, let me just put one in and slice one up, and I will tell you. Again, bear in mind, this will be me telling you what the slicer says, which may not be the sort of the real world thing. And let's turn the brim off because I didn't realize that was on. Have we got a minimum layer time? I'll make sure that's off. It's under cooling. Yeah, so we want to turn off minimum layer time. and reslice that. So this will do a benchy. At the moment, it's saying the benchy is 27 minutes to do that. That's on a 0.2 layer height with 280 on wall speed, 350 on infill. So we can whack some of those numbers up a little bit and see how it will do. We'll try using. I mean, they haven't got any other profiles really. So so the initial layer speed is only 50. Pardon?
You got lightning infill, haven't you?
I can what?
Don't have lightning infill for speed.
It's not an option, no. You can up the speed for it, but I've turned down the minimum layer time. So 27 minutes for a benchy is what it's saying, but we'll see how quickly. That's with 2 walls, 1 surface skin layer, infill of 10% on gyroids. I reckon we can crank some of those speeds up a bit. The outer walls are only going 120. The initial layer speed's at 50. I reckon we can put some of those speeds up a little bit, and we'll see what we can get. It's very quiet. I can't hear it. I'll be honest, it's pretty silent. So if I sort of get in, I don't know why I put my head in there because that's ridiculous. I could just take the microphone off like a regular person. So this is like right next to the extruder, and all you can really hear is the fans. All you can really hear is the fans going. Obviously, the part cooling fans are running at the moment, and it's not loud. I couldn't hack waiting that long. So it's doing really well. I got this printed 2 days ago. I'm kind of a noob. Well, total noob. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't exactly know what I was doing about 12 minutes ago. So it's okay to ask a basic question. Gaspar, you ask any questions you want. There's no stupid. That's not true. There are stupid questions, but you can ask them anyway. Ask any question you want. No pressure, Gaspar.
But we're all on tenterhooks.
But we're all on tenterhooks waiting to see what these questions could be.
I bet it's a question about the size of your hands.
This is a can for reference. This is the size of my hand. A normal sized hand on a regular sized person.
One of them little cans that you used to get for like kids pack lunches.
Like when I had those those tiny 50p's made up.
Yeah.
Let's say I want to change filaments. What's the process? Like I cut the filament and then the extruder. Okay, so you'd cut the you can cut the filament up here. You wouldn't do this
above the filament run-out sensor.
You would heat the. Pardon?
You'd cut it above the filament run-out sensor.
Well, you don't have to. It depends on if he wants to change it. The easiest thing to do is to cut it here, remove it, then back it out of the extruder, and then pull it out.
Or if you cut it above the filament sensor, it'll automatically pause and let you change it.
Yeah, but I don't think he's asking that. I think he's literally asking when he wants to change filaments. I don't think he's asking in a print. I think he's just asking when he wants to change filaments. So you'd cut the filament here, and then you'd heat your extruder to 210. You go onto the screen, you go under settings, and you go to move, and you can extrude. You can retract the filament, and it will come out of the tool head. You'll feel it pull up, and then and then it'll come out.
Sam said, "How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?"
How many chickens would it take to kill? Right. Okay. Sorry. So are we talking an elephant, like a chicken-sized elephant, or elephant-sized chickens, or they're both their normal sizes? And how long would both of them take to kill each other?
Would you rather fight 1,000 chickens or one chicken the size of an elephant?
Oh.
And they're not chickens, they're cockerels.
They're not chickens, they're cockerels.
Yeah.
Are they like those Spanish cockerels that have got like the raptor claws on their
Yeah. Oh. And they've sharpened their beaks as well.
I would say, okay, so I think it takes 1,000 chickens to kill an elephant, because by that point, I think the elephant would probably just have a heart attack and die. I'd rather fight 1,000 chickens, because if a chicken's elephant-sized, like I'm assuming I'm unarmed, other than with my own ninjutsu.
But you've got 2 dead chickens.
I've got to what, like chicken chucks?
Yeah, like a chicken mace.
Right. Okay. Awesome. I thought if I just cut it and then extrude the leftover filament, it was consumed. Well, it does, but it's easier to not do that because the problem is once you get filament stuck inside the extruder, it can be a real pain in the ass. So you should always cut it above, back out the extruder and take the excess filament out, and then you can remove it. So here's a question. Would you rather fight a chimpanzee once a year at a time of your choosing, or fight 2 chickens every single time you get in your car?
Oh, I'll take the chickens because chimpanzees can be super violent. Yeah, chimpanzees can be super violent. Like they can
be super violent. That is true.
They can mess you up once a year.
Yeah, but once a year,
every time you get in your car,
time to train. You got prep time.
Yeah, but every time you get in your car and you fight the chickens, eventually you're going to become really good at it.
Are you?
I think
That's a pretty steep learning curve.
Like, I'm going to get in that car and them chickens are going to be like, what? And I'm just going to do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll form like a religious cult around you.
Yeah.
Chimpanzee, I think I'd be able to choke one out a year. Really?
That's a bold
You reckon
statement.
you can choke out a chimpanzee?
Because bearing in mind, Sam, that chimp is twice the size of you.
Yeah.
Like, he's got at least a 2-foot reach on you. He could choke
Sam,
you out and you wouldn't even be able to reach him.
Yeah. Every time I've met Sam, I thought he was much further away than he actually was.
It'd be like pulling the arms off a Lego man.
Well, Jesus, WWF, will be honest. I feel like this could get demonetized. Hold on, is this post-diet? You'd have a year. You'd have a year to diet. You'd have a year to prepare. A year to prepare to fight, because you get to choose when you could fight the chimp. So you could even fight 2 chimps back to back and then be free for 2 years. Like,
or dead.
Or dead. But I don't know, like having to fight 2 chickens every single time you got in your car. Like, you've just got to have one bad day.
No. Eventually, I'd become good at fighting the chickens, and they'd be cowering when I got in the car.
I don't know whether or not you could choke out a chimpanzee. I was
going to say you can choke a chicken.
You can choke a chicken, yeah, absolutely. But choking a chimpanzee, like, he's not going to let you. Like, he's not going to be on board unless he's like a really kinky chimpanzee, which I don't think he will be.
No, it's going to be angry chimpanzee.
Why are chickens funny? Ian, I'm not playing this game because this could...
What'd you get if you cross human DNA with a goat?
I don't know.
Banned from the petting zoo.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, there's no problem with adhesion on that, is there? I do hate brims. Oh, yeah, that's completely impossible to get off. Regular person would use a scraper. Well,
yeah, I agree with you, Sam. I agree with you, Sam. They're extremely dangerous animals.
What are? What, chickens or chimpanzees?
Chimpanzees. Yeah, guess
yes,
what?
They are.
If you're not using the printer.
Second question, powering on the printer. Is the printer meant to be on all the time, or should I power it down after printing? So to be honest with you, if you just leave your printer on, most of the fans on your printer will normally shut off automatically. It depends on what it is. You shouldn't ever leave your printer heated and on, but just leaving your printer on standby like this, absolutely fine. It really depends on how often you use it. I would probably leave mine on because I use them all the time, but yeah. How do I power on if I'm just going to the tablet and pressing the red circle with the exclamation mark to power down Klipper? So that's not powering down Klipper. That's an emergency stop. So it's basically a kill switch. It does turn everything off. It cuts all the power to the main board and everything else. but it's not really a power down. It's literally an emergency stop. So it's supposed to cut the power to the heated bed and to the extruder. You can't power it down from the screen. The only way to turn it off is by the switch at the back, at which point all the fans will turn off and the screen will go off. That's when it's actually off. Anything else is just a standby mode.
Phil, no printing has been discussed for at least 30 minutes. We've been discussing animal cruelty.
No. The chimp wants the fight.
Well, they do.
That's all they want to do. So I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of a big, expensive separate screen in case, if you were wondering. So okay, so I mean it's fair, like it's a large screen, right? And it's obviously, I would have probably liked to have seen it a bit more like the Super Racer where it was attached to the side, but like, have you managed to print anything yet, or are you still tapping? Yeah, I've printed a calibration cube and it's come out all right. It probably needs a little tweaking of flow. Like I'm not loving the flow, and the Z. I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, that's turned off. Obviously, second. So this is the calibration cube. He said. There we go. So the Y, the X, they're pretty good. The Z is a little doughy, if I'm honest. So I don't know if you can see that, but the corners of the Z should be quite sharp, but they're quite rounded. That could be the speed. It could be the heat. It could literally just be the crap filament. So so there's a lot to test on this and play about with. Thank you. It's been super helpful. We've come a long way from my other Delta, my DaVinci XYZ. So actually, the DaVincis were one of the first machines that Mike got. I think the second or third one. I think it was maybe your second machine was a DaVinci Junior.
No, it wasn't the Junior. It was the Pro.
Exploring with Matt. That cube isn't much bigger than your hands. Try and scale it down. Thanks. Right, okay, that is it printed. So you can, if you want to get your own one, then by all means check out the link in the video description. Big shout out to everybody who continues to watch our videos. Thank you so much. We've seen so much growth last year. We're going to be continuing doing that this year as well. So thank you very much, everybody who's been helping us and supporting the channel that way. If you want to get your own V400, then check out the link in the video description. Just to be clear, that is not an affiliate link. We do not get anything for doing these reviews. These reviews are done. They send us the machines and we don't get paid for them, and we don't get the affiliate links at the moment either. So we are not promoting the machine. We are just showing you how it works. Next, we will be doing a review of the machine, and then we'll be showing some other higher end machines. So we'll be comparing this to a Bamboo Labs X1, and we'll also be comparing it to a Prusa. I think they'll be really interesting to see how it compares on quality and how it compares on speed as well. So
I think we've got the thingy coming as well, haven't we? The Anchor Make, is it?
Oh yeah, and we've got the Anchor Mate coming. So we've got the M5. We'll have that coming hopefully next week. So we'll be comparing it to the new Anchor Make M5. We'll be doing a live stream on that one as well. So a big mixture of machines there of different price points and that kind of stuff. So thank you very much for joining us, guys and dolls. We will catch you on the next video. If you're not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next video. See you later.
Bye.